So I filmed and edited a reaction video to the new Snow Patrol song, These Alarms, featuring Kylie Minogue. Went to upload it, and YouTube has blocked it. So I thought, rather than waste all that hard work and go sulk in the corner, I'll just put my camera back on and share with you my thoughts without using the audio, and hopefully we're all golden. So I think it's fair to say this is an unexpected collab. Snow Patrol feat Kylie Minogue. And, you know, when bands do collabs with pop singers, especially bands that have been going for a long time, it's easy to feel cynical about it. But I think it's also fair to say that Kylie's been going even longer than Snow Patrol has. And I feel like, if I'm being honest, both of these artists are now past their commercial peaks. This is a very different proposition to if Snow Patrol were going to put out a song with Sabrina Carpenter or Gracie Abrams. I think about that Coldplay song that has BTS on it. That comes across a little bit desperate. I think here, and listening to the song, this held up for me. I genuinely think Snow Patrol were writing a song. They thought, oh, this has got a bit of a Kylie vibe to it, and decided to just hold back and get in contact with Kylie Minogue's team and say, hey, we'd love you to feature on this song. It doesn't feel like this desperate attempt to go back in the charts or anything like that. It seems like it came from a genuine artistic place. And I really like how both Gary Lightbody and Kylie Minogue sound on this track. I think it really suits the both of them. I read that it was recorded during the Forest, or they started working on it during the Forest is the Path sessions. And now I've listened to it a couple of times, I can kind of hear the instrumentation feels in keeping with that, while also having some of that Kylie-ness in it. So I think that worked really well. But when I was doing my reaction video, I remember back when I reacted to The Only Noise, going in, I was worried, because this is something, it came across like something recorded during the Eyes Open sessions, something they'd left off the album that they're now putting on the reissue. Maybe the song wouldn't be very good and I wouldn't have much to say about it. I ended up being quite positive about this song. I'm not going to say These Alarms is bad by any means, but I definitely had that experience where I'm listening to the song, I'm thinking I'm filming a reaction video, and I just didn't have a lot to say about it. In terms of the lyrics, I feel like there isn't the same level of substance as what you get from Forest is the Path, from those other tracks. I definitely think it suits as a kind of fun pop song, something you can just kind of listen to and it's nice. There's phrases that I really liked right at the end. I forget the exactly, but it's kind of like all the noise and stuff, and then like a hold me in your arms sort of thing, and it kind of gave me that image in my mind of like, yeah, sometimes the world can get a bit much and you just want that person that you can cling on to. And I think knowing about Forest is the Path, not to get too personal here, but how long Gary Lightbody's been single, and maybe there's been a lot of loneliness, there's been a lot of like looking back on the past and reflecting on things. Hearing the song, knowing that context, I think makes some of that feel a bit more powerful. The idea that, you know, maybe Lightbody hasn't got that thing to hold on to that he's singing about. But like I said, honestly, for me personally, listening to the song, it didn't quite hit me in the way that I hoped it would. And I will especially say, in fact, there's two things I will say. The chorus for me, there's that little drop bit before you get into the chorus, which kind of builds anticipation. And for me, when the chorus came in, especially with the, yeah, it just didn't quite do it for me. I'd liked it if maybe the music or the vocal melody went up a notch, like to a different pitch, different register or something. What was the other? Oh, the other thing was, so on Eyes Open, there's a song featuring Martha Wainwright, Set Fire to the Fur Bar. Wonderful song. And that has Gary Lightbody and Martha Wainwright singing together for the whole song. I believe they're an octave apart, but they're singing in unison. This song does the same thing. Gary Lightbody and Kylie, they're singing together throughout the entire song. There are times, because you can hear Gary Lightbody singing quite high in his range, so there's times where I think they are literally singing the same notes, and all you're really getting is the blend of the tones. And it works, it sounds nice. But I was wondering with this song if basically what I'm saying is it's a shame that they kind of repeated the same formula with this song. I know it's very generic and very traditional to have a song where it's like artist A does verse A, artist B does verse B, both come in on the chorus. But I think that would have sounded really cool on this song. And also, it would have been interesting to have a song where it's like a man's point of view and a woman's point of view, or maybe just different perspectives, like one individual's point of view and another individual's point of view on different verses. So part of me feels like there's a bit of a missed opportunity there. And I felt it was interesting that Snow Patrol used the same formula again. I don't want to accuse them of not being able to utilise different tools in the toolbox, but there was a part of me that was just like, they did the same choice again. I get it, you know, Set Fire to the Third Bar was 20 years old, but I personally don't know of a Snow Patrol song that takes the more traditional approach, and that's something I would be interested in hearing. I'd love to hear what you guys think of these alarms. I apologise if I come across a bit meh on the song, but yeah, you know, that's just me personally. It didn't quite hit me as much as I would have liked. But I really want to know how you guys feel about it. I'd love to hear your comments on it and just hear out the discourse. On social media, it looks like it's gone down very positively, and I'm really happy about that for the band. And indeed, I'd love to see you in another video. I've got a whole playlist of Snow Patrol related stuff. Take care.